How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to another week of Bleeding Blue with GSU here on Atlanta Sports Unlimited. I'm Christian Crittenden here with you, like I am every week, bringing you the best and latest coverage there is of Georgia State athletics. This week was scheduled release week around Georgia State. At least that's what it felt like, as 3 teams released their schedule for the 2021-2022 slate. We had the men's golf team, the women's volleyball team, and the men's basketball team. Well, the men's golf team and volleyball team released their entire schedules. The men's basketball team only released their conference schedules. But we do know some of the non-conference opponents like Georgia Tech and Mississippi State. We don't know the dates of those games yet, so we'll hold off on those for the time being. But today we're going to focus on the men's basketball conference schedule. Before we do that though, make sure you subscribe where you're going to watch this video on YouTube, Atlanta Sports Unlimited. Leave a like, leave a comment, good or bad, or hurt our feelings. We just want to know how you guys feel. And follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter, so you see all of this content and it'll come right to you. Now to basketball. Coach Rob Lanier is in his 3rd year at the helm of Georgia State basketball, and he's done pretty good so far. He had a lot of expectations, and there was a high standard to keep when Coach Hunter left and he took over, but he's done a good job of keeping that standard of winning basketball at Georgia State University. Now looking at the schedule, they'll start their non-conference slate on December 30th at Arkansas State. That game is in Jonesboro, Arkansas. So they'll play the Red Wolves that day. And then on their first homestand, they have a really tough one. They have UTA first, and then they have Texas State. Texas State finished first in the Sun Belt West last year. And if they play the Panthers really tough. I mean, whenever they play Texas State, it's always a tough game. They've even got blown out by Texas State a few times. That's how tough it is to play those guys on there. So that'll be a fun one to watch. Now, the game that Coach Lanier and his squad should have circled on the schedule, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be in Reading. They'll probably have a red marker for that one. January 20th is when they have the first chance to avenge their loss from last year's conference championship game against App State when the Mountaineers come to town. So should be a good one there. The Panthers will be motivated for that one. Obviously, we have the annual rivalry game with Georgia Southern. That game will be first game will be on the 17th of February. At the Sports Arena, so it'll be the last time that the arch rival Eagles come to town. And then on the 19th, the Panthers will travel to Statesboro to face off in the second of the 2-game set. So if you didn't notice, the games are played on Thursday and Saturday. So generally how it works is, let's take Georgia State for example. They'll play the 2 Texas teams in that weekend. So Thursday they'll play one team, and then Saturday they'll play another team. And the same thing for another team. So let's say when Texas Arlington come to town, UTA, they'll play Georgia State one day, and they'll travel to Georgia Southern the next day. So they'll get the trip to the same state out of the way at the same time. Now back to the schedule. The game you want to have circled, and the game that you want to make sure you're at if you can, is the game against the rival Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Panthers have a couple of rivals, obviously. This one dates back to days of Coach Hunter. There's some testy matchups there, but some good matchups. So it's always good to see them come to town and compete. So here are a few things that you can expect from Georgia State basketball this season. 1, for them to go undefeated at home during conference play. Now, to some it may sound like a stretch, but when you think about it, the team has had a really great home court advantage over the past decade or so. They generally only lose 1 or 2 games at home all season. That's including non-conference play. So for them to go undefeated during conference play is not a stretch at all. It's very reasonable, and it'll likely happen. Number 2, for them to win the Sun Belt East, and number 3, for them to win the Sun Belt Conference Tournament and return to the NCAA tournament again. Now, the main reason for this is because the talent and the depth that this team has. Looking at it, they return all 5 starters that played majority of the year. You have Kane Williams returning for a super senior year. Super senior year. Corey Allen as well. Justin Roberts is back. Elias Osime and Jalen Thomas. Those guys started most of the year. And then you get a big boost having Nelson Phillips back. Joe Jones should be back from injury this year. And then you got to look at the freshmen from last year. They should be much improved. Evan Johnson, Caleb Scott, Colin Moore. All 3 guys played a pretty good amount of minutes last year, so you can expect those minutes to increase and their level of play to go up as well. And they have transferred Jordan Rawls from Western Kentucky. So that's 6 guys off your bench that can come and possibly start for you and come off the bench and get good minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Lanier manages those guys in those minutes. And that's another reason why they're going to win it. They may not have this team, a team that's talented or a team that's deep for a long time. Seniors don't often stay around in college basketball anymore. They either transfer, they try their hand at the draft. So you don't want to waste this opportunity. Last year they lost to App State in that conference tournament. And they were given a gift with the COVID year to come back and give it another shot. So they don't want to have that happen again, the disappointment of not making the NCAA tournament with such a very talented team. With the gift that they got from the basketball gods, they're going to take advantage. They're going to win the Sun Belt tournament and return to the NCAA tournament.